Mr. Speaker, however, the majority leader himself is on record to have always been urging upon us to rely on the rules of procedure, the practice of this House in guiding our deliberations. In fact, on a lighter note, he's had calls to even tell me that there are matters that I should pursue them through press conference. Mr. Speaker, as a parliament, we can file a question to get answers or invite the governor. And this must first happen at plenary. This must first happen at plenary. For a referral to be made, then the proper thing is done. Mr. Speaker, you see, Hansard is taking note of all that we are doing today. We would have to be very careful so that when we set a certain precedence and the same precedence is coming back to us tomorrow, we will not have cause to answer. That said, Mr. Speaker, we know that the governor has just assumed office. We know that there are issues at Bank of Ghana, which issues were part of the Hansard of this House. I recall that Mr. President, in 2015, SONA had raised issues of poor supervision of Bank of Ghana in our banking sector. The governor today was a deputy governor then. Are we picking and choosing which matters we want the governor to brief us on? Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, I'm happy seeing Dr. Siama himself here. He should not. Mr. Governor, don't make yourself a tool for a political football, because, Mr. Speaker, the role that the governor of the central bank plays is very critical on the economy of this country. I do not want to be doing politics with the office of the governor. Mr. Speaker, the majority must know that the path they want us to go is not good for the economy, is not good for our country. Mr. Speaker, we cannot start a certain precedent. Mr. Speaker, if the governor's first duty is that from nowhere, business committee is now through the chairman. Chairman comes to the business committee in his capacity as the leader of government business to say that next week we are programming governor to brief the House. Now, rule of procedure does not matter in this House. The human rights activists, the procedural activists that I know in this House, who today they are in the majority, are telling the country that rules of procedure do not matter. That is what we are hearing from respected lawyers whose names I don't want to mention. I don't want to mention their names. Because you are in government, your law has vanished into thin air. Mr. Speaker, let us let us, in the interest of the country, stand this matter down. I'm ready to engage. Let's have this matter placed on ice for some minutes. For some minutes. For some minutes, Mr. Speaker, let us at leadership level, without prejudice to his argument he would want to make, to engage and to have discussion on the path. Else, Mr. Speaker, this may get out of hand. And we may be setting a precedent. Listen, honorable members, Mr. Speaker, let me end by saying that any form of accountability that is necessary for the good of the country must be pursued. I am never against any accountability, but you all know that there is this old saying that should all men find a man's hand in a till, his guilt must be proven. Should all men find a man's hand in a till, his guilt must be proven. Mr. Speaker, let us as a parliament do the right thing to assure the nation this constitution carries with it some promises. Our job as a house is to ensure that these promises contained in the constitution are realized. We should do it through rules of procedure and observing prudence.